Okie dokie. Today, we're going to learn about Yasuke, the African samurai. When Yasuke arrived in Japan in 1579, his presence would mark one of the most intriguing intersections of African and Japanese history. From his origins in Africa to becoming a samurai under Oda Nobunaga, Yasuke's story is a testament to cultural exchange and the breaking of social barriers. Yasuke's story begins in the heart of Africa, where he is believed to have originated from Mozambique in the southeast. Mozambique, a region known for its diverse cultures and rich history, could have been the homeland of Yasuke. However, there are some theories that suggest that he may have come from another part of the continent, such as Ethiopia or the Sudan region, which were also prominent centers of trade and culture during that period. The exact location of his origins still remain a mystery because of the lack of detailed historical records in the passing of centuries. The African continent during Yasuke's time was covered with a variety of kingdoms and tribes, each with its unique customs, languages, and histories. If Yasuke did indeed come from Mozambique, he would have been part of a coastal region engaged in extensive trade with Arabs, Indians, and Europeans. This cosmopolitan environment could have exposed him to various languages and cultures, preparing him for his eventual journey to far-off lands. Regardless of the precise location, Yasuke's African heritage played a significant role in shaping his identity. African societies at the time were known for their rich traditions of storytelling, warrior culture, and community bonds, and these elements would have been integral to Yasuke's upbringing, instilling in him the values of bravery, loyalty, and resilience that would later define his life in Japan. Yasuke's journey from Africa to Japan was likely facilitated by the thriving trade routes that connected Africa to the broader world. During the 16th century, Portuguese traders and explorers had established a strong presence along the African coast, engaging in commerce and forging alliances with local rulers. It was within this context that Yasuke came into contact with the Portuguese and played a pivotal role in his journey to Japan. Accompanying the Italian Jesuit missionary Alessandro Valignano, I'm probably saying that wrong, I apologize, Yasuke traveled across the Indian Ocean and through the diverse landscapes of Asia before reaching Japan. This journey itself would have been a formidable experience, exposing Yasuke to various cultures and environments far from his African homeland. But his ability to navigate these new worlds speaks to his adaptability and strength of character. We know that Yasuke arrived in Japan in 1579. He was not a free man. He was considered an attendant, and I put that in quotes, to the Italian Jesuit missionary Alessandro. His imposing stature and dark skin were unlike anything most Japanese had ever seen, and this made him a spectacle. His presence in Japan was part of Valignano's mission to spread Christianity and establish Jesuit influence in Asia. But fate took a turn when Yasuke was presented to Oda Nobunaga. He was a powerful daimyo on a quest to unify Japan. Nobunaga, known for his unconventional ways and curiosity about foreign cultures, was reportedly captivated by Yasuke's unique appearance and impressive strength. But his fascination with Yasuke went beyond mere novelty. He saw potential in the African warrior. So, defying expectations, Nobunaga took Yasuke into his service, not as a servant, but as a samurai. Yasuke was granted a residence, a traditional katana sword symbolizing his samurai status, and a place in Nobunaga's retinue. This elevation was unprecedented, making Yasuke one of the few foreigners to attend samurai status. Yasuke also served as a trusted bodyguard and participated in several significant battles, earning the respect of his peers. The communication between Yasuke and Nobunaga likely presented challenges. While the extent of Yasuke's Japanese language skills remain unknown, he and Nobunaga probably relied on interpreters and nonverbal cues to communicate effectively. And despite these barriers, Yasuke integrated into Japanese society, learning its customs and ways of life. Historical accounts describe Yasuke as a skilled warrior. His tall physique and presumed combat training from his homeland made him a formidable opponent on the battlefield. Yasuke's prowess in combat was demonstrated in various skirmishes and battles, where his strength and fighting skills were invaluable to Nobunaga's forces. Yasuke's effectiveness as a warrior was not just due to his physical capabilities, but also his ability to adapt to the samurai way of combat, which involved a combination of martial arts, swordsmanship, and tactical acumen. His contributions on the battlefield earned him respect and recognition among Nobunaga's warriors, solidifying his reputation as a fierce and loyal samurai. This combination of his unique background and exceptional martial prowess made Yasuke a standout figure in Nobunaga's retinue, showcasing the diverse and inclusive nature of Nobunaga's military strategy. In 1582, Yasuke was present during the infamous Hanoji incident, where Nobunaga was betrayed and forced to unalive himself by one of his generals, Akichi Mitsuhide. Yasuke reportedly fought valiantly during the attack on Hanoji Temple, defending Nobunaga until the end, and this tragic event marked a significant turning point in Yasuke's life. The details of Yasuke's life after Nobunaga's death are relatively unknown, leaving historians to piece together his fate from fragmented accounts. Some records suggest that after Nobunaga's tragic death during the Hanoji incident, Yasuke briefly served Nobunaga's son, Oda Nobunaga. During this period, Yasuke would have continued to demonstrate his loyalty and combat skills, fighting alongside Nobunaga in the chaotic aftermath of Nobunaga's demise. However, this service was short-lived as Nobunaga himself faced insurmountable odds against enemy forces. There are other accounts that claim that after Nobunaga's defeat, Yasuke was captured by the forces of Akichi Mitsuhide, and according to some narratives, Mitsuhide's men were unsure of what to do with Yasuke as he was a unique figure in their midst. Lacking the cultural and strategic context to understand his role and value, they supposedly handed him over to the Jesuit missionaries who had originally brought him to Japan. The lack of clear historical records and primary sources makes it difficult to ascertain Yasuke's exact fate during this tumultuous period. There are no definitive accounts of whether he remained in Japan under Jesuit protection, or he returned to his homeland, or met some other end. This ambiguity has only added to the mystique surrounding Yasuke, leaving his ultimate fate an enigma that continues to fascinate scholars and enthusiasts alike. The mystery of Yasuke's later life contributes to his legendary status, symbolizing the untold stories and hidden histories that exist in the intersection of cultures and continents. I wonder what his real name was. After these events, Yasuke vanishes from historical records. Whether he remained in Japan or returned to Africa remains a mystery. His disappearance adds an odd element to an already fascinating story, leaving everyone to wonder about his final days. Despite the lack of information about his final days, Yasuke's story continues to captivate people. He stands as a symbol of cultural exchange, defying social norms and the potential for acceptance in a foreign land. His legacy is celebrated in various forms of media and literature and film and video games, ensuring that his remarkable journey remains an inspiration to many. Yasuke's journey from Africa to Japan and his rise to samurai status under Oda Nobunaga is a story of courage and resilience and cultural integration. His life challenges preconceived notions about race and identity, showing that greatness can be achieved regardless of one's origins. This is an anomaly. We don't know anything about Yasuke other than he showed up in Japan, and from there, he was given a title and a rank, a house, and a new life. But he was still part of this Jesuit missionary thing, which is really weird. So they were still there. The Jesuits were still there. And nobody knows if he could speak Japanese or whatever. I mean, it's plainly obvious that this guy learned how to speak the language because he was able to integrate into Japanese society and learn its customs and ways of life. A lot of this is still, it's hokum, if you want to call it that. But the story is there, and it's an amazing story. It really is. I'm going to find out what Yasuke's real name was. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for listening. If you like it, hit that subscribe button for us. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.